Hey guys, I got a 2000 BMW Z3 convertible. I'm going to try to remove that climate control that is busted a lot of times without removing the center console. Let's see how it goes. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make these little doors go back to reveal the little screws behind here. And after you do that, grab a 2.5 mil Allen, put it in the little set screw here or retaining screw and pull them out. After you got those little retaining screws out, then this should pull out. You should be able to pull everything off the back. A little antenna wire here. It's hard to do all this one-handed. And then clip back here. It's a little fiddly getting all this, so I'm going to do that off camera. There's this nice little drawing on there how to do this. Put that there, and that should slide up and come off. But it takes two hands. I'm not sure yet if I really need to take the vents out, but I know it'll give me a little more space. So you can just be gentle with that. This was in there a lot harder. I kind of pre-loosened it. You can pull that out. Give yourself a little more space when you're working. So now that we got that open, since this is what we're trying to take out, there's a couple of screws in here. One over here. One on this side. It's kind of dark to see, but you can see me touching it. And then there's a couple of clips. If I can shine a light. A couple of clips right in the middle there that you have to get unclipped. You can see I pushed my radio cords back in there, but don't forget that antenna. So I've got my replacement unit here, and I'll show you the back of that first. So we got to get this unplugged from in there. And then along here, there's going to be three like cables that go into there and then hook onto these and then onto those cams. And then there's going to be a light there and a light there. So all of that needs to come out while it's in the dash here. It's kind of difficult, especially doing it one-handed. So you can see what I'm talking about there with those cables. And then there's a light there that'll need to come out, and then back way, can't see it, too dark, sort of see it. There's a little plug that needs to come off too. That's on the switch for the fan speed. So you can see I've got one of those cables off. It's just real fiddly. You got to take your time. Don't go too hard and break anything, but you pull up on the cable a little bit and pinch the inside part a little bit, and eventually it just surprises you and pops off. So take your time, do it. So I got that last one out. It was pretty fiddly, and you can see how it goes into the little arm up here. And then I don't know if I can do it one-handed, but then that should come right out. So then after you get all that out, you can drop it down, come over here, pop these fellas off, here and here, and then you gotta reach your hand back there and pull out your prize. Voila, that was the easiest part. So just remember, you gotta unhook a light here. There's like some blue and black plug that plugs in here, that's a little fiddly, and then the light there. The switch there, all those cables. You can see my fix was this little screw, which worked for a while, but I thought I'd get a new used one and pop that baby in there instead. So I have this suspicion that this cable here, you can see like right where my thumb is, there's a little bit of a bend there. It was quite a bend there. I've been fiddling it with it to get it to straighten out, but I have a feeling that that might have been part of my problem, why the hot and cold control was getting locked up, that and the fact that I had a screw in there to try to fix where that cam and plastic piece meet in the back. And then I'm also gonna spray some cable and chain lube in there just to make sure that everything's gliding as good as it can. All right, so we got everything out. I'm gonna take the plate off of this one, put it on my new one. You see there's these little snaps here. They come out. First, take the knobs off. If you don't take the knobs off, it's not gonna come off. And of course, I'll harvest this light bulb and anything else that I forgot in there. I think it's just a light bulb. And then we'll put everything back together, folks. Some of these knobs are on there pretty good, so I'll use a plier with a cloth over it, give it a good tug, and they should come off. All right, so we got that out. The one I had in my car is a little bit better than the replacement one I got. See how it's faded in the blue there? So mine's got a little bit of fading in that, but a little bit better. So when you got this stuff off, don't forget to clean it. And I'm gonna put a little of this back to black on it, see if I can shine it up a little bit. So I got that snapped back on there. I'm gonna leave the knobs off for now till I get it back into the car completely, just because it take a little bit of the width of it away. I got that light bulb back in there. I think my other light bulb's in the car. I'll probably hit that switch there with a little dielectric grease. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. The other thing I did is I noticed that there was some sort of lubricant in these cams here. So probably did the wrong stuff, but I used a little Vaseline in there, and because that's what it seemed like it was, to kind of lube those up, because I don't ever want to have this thing off again. All right, so remember, we're gonna sneak this up through here and it'll show up back up there. So again, I gotta do this off camera. It's hard to do this with two hands, let alone one. All right, just like magic, it's in there, up there. And first, before I get all those cables hooked up, I'm gonna hook that switch up, hook all the lights up. There's that other little piece that kind of clips on the back in there, kind of in this area, hard to see. Get all that hooked up, then do the cables last, because those are kind of the hardest. And we'll see what happens. So you see I got my cables all hooked back up. You can see these, the red and the green are braided cables. This one's a solid cable. And I think that's been my problem all along. I probably didn't need a new climate control. I think it was just this gooseneck that I had in here. I'm still gonna fiddle with this and try to bend it out a little bit more and get this cable as straight as I can. Then the last thing I'll do is hook up this bottom light. I just didn't want to have to fiddle with the electrical connection for that too. But everything else is hooked up, and hopefully soon she'll be doing her job. When you're buttoning things up, just see that those little pins, I don't know if you can see it, my light's kind of, there you go. Those pins drop in there, and then they'll snap. The top will snap here, and then there's your little screws will go in there using a little stubby screwdriver. That's the best way to do it. Then you just put your radio back in. Turns out I didn't need to take the vent off, although it probably gave me a little more light, so I don't regret it. It was pretty easy to do. So, all right, thanks for watching. So I got the car running, lights on. You can see the lights are lighting up. This is going, there's like a little catch here. I think it's for a midway point. I think it's supposed to be there, but I don't know because my last one was never really working right. So this is moving as it should. I got my switches going on and off, and I can adjust my heat from the floor, from the vents, the defrosters. So I think I'm doing all right. Just a couple other tips. Just make sure you remember, like for me, my donor was 1999, so that's 24-year-old plastic. So you gotta be gentle with this stuff. Just remember everything you take off. Make sure you know where it goes. Make sure your colors are right when you hook your cables back up. Other than that, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Bye.